Hey, so I was watching I was watching Auburn Preach channel. I'm subscribed to them, and they did a little video on Jordan Peterson versus the Atheists. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but after watching them, I also want to say something because I realized something from some of the light debates I've had with people like in the comments and stuff who are atheists and stuff like that. And I want to, from my perspective, address why Jordan Peterson seemed like he started to take a certain angle in that debate with those atheists. One thing I notice about sometimes debating back and forth with atheists, and one thing about a guy like Jordan Peterson, who's, from my understanding, very educated and very a scholar and a person who knows how to debate in context and things like that. When debating with atheists, they like to take personal jabs at people and take personal digs at people and then call it a debate. And then after they do that and they get off of the point, they want to try to hide behind atheism or hide behind the wall of religion that they just tried to dismiss, to attack you. And with a guy like Jordan Peterson or any like highly intellectual people or people who are very accomplished in academia and stuff like that, they don't take kindly to that, because if you're going to call this a debate, do your research first. Don't come and say that and ask me if I'm a Christian, if you came here under the pretense that you were going to debate a Christian and you did not do your research on Christianity. You asking this man about the Holocaust and asking him, do he believe in things like that? He like, bro, what do you mean, do I believe in? What do you mean by believe? What do you mean by hypothetical questions like, if the Holocaust is going on, would a person do all this? And that's where people of certain accomplishments and intellect who know how to debate and know how a debate should go in a forum and understand what the topic is, that's where they get frustrated, because now you're going to ask me, am I a Christian? No, you just tried to insult my intelligence. So right now, I'm not a Christian, right? Now I'm not a Christian. Let me take my Christian robes off. Let me take my hat off and let me meet you where you at, because you think you're smarter than me. You're trying to insult my intelligence and insult me personally. Then you want to dive back behind Christianity. You've been went off that subject. You should do your research before you come to a debate, so that you don't look so emotional and so crazy that you taking personal shots at a person and then calling it a debate. Stick on the topic. The topic is Christianity versus atheism, not does Jordan Peterson believe he's a Christian or believe in God. That's not the topic. And these are the problems that come along with debating atheists, because they like to take personal shots, personal digs, and then they want to try to walk it back and hide behind some type of wall of, let's see how you're going to react. I'm not about to react like what you think a Christian is. I'm about to show you that if you think you're smarter than me, let's get into some psychology. Let's get into some mathematics. Let's get into some science, because that's what you're trying to get into. You're not trying to talk about Christian practices or the Christian belief system or the societies and things that are based off of Christianity. You're not doing that. You're taking a personal shot at a person and then say, see, they don't want to answer the question. No, that ain't the fact. Describe to me what you're talking about. Give me your personal testimony or understanding of what's going on, so I can know what you're talking about. That's how an intellectual person or a person who is accomplished gonna take it. Because if you think you're smarter than me, that don't have nothing to do with God. Don't put God in you being smarter than me. Let's get into some who's smarter. Okay, let's get into some, are you smarter than a fifth grader? If we're gonna get into that, type of debating. So that's where I gather from that, and a lot of people who struggle with that type of understanding, thinking that a person gonna like play the heel or play the field. Let's talk about actual Christian practices and actually debate atheism versus Christianity. Don't come and take a personal dig at me because you feel like you're catching me at a moment where I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I don't gotta be Christian today. I'm actually show you who I was before I was Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to get into that attitude mentality, because I don't think that you're smarter than me. Show me your essays, show me your thesis, show me your studies, show me the things that you're trying to address as if you're more intellectually sound and smarter than me. And that's what I gathered from that, from just a little bit that I seen on Auburn Priest channel, because I found that when debating with atheists online and stuff like that, it's just like, we're not even on the topic no more. Did you do any research on this? Like, did you do your actual due diligence on this religion and on these beliefs and what has happened? Or are you about to come up in here and make a personal argument against what I'm saying? Because you kind of taking what a lot of guys would consider a feminine approach. You want to get all emotional into something and take a personal shot, then act like it was intellectual. Nah, you was trying to insult me just now. You was trying to insult my intelligence. You trying to hide behind atheism or Christianity. We don't even have to put that into play. I promise you, I think I'm smarter than you. And if you want to debate, let's seriously see who has the better point. Let's debate for real. You want to take a personal dig at me? That's like saying we come into debate and you talking about you're black. I'm a black guy. He's a black guy. So of course, you know, he's gonna think like that. Oh, see, now you're taking a personal shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I gathered from that. So yeah, that's the problem when trying to debate atheists and stuff like that. They never really do their research. They always be all over the place, and when they get off track of what the topic is because they didn't actually do their research and make points and actually debate the points that they make, they ask you personal questions to try to take a dig at your character or a dig at your personality. And with people like Jordan Peterson, who worked really hard to attain their knowledge and their academic success, and, you know, been through certain things, they like, oh no, this ain't about me being Christian no more, because I'm gonna show you how unchristian I can be, and we can see who's smarter, since you think you're smarter than me. And that's where that attitude comes from, because atheists tend to do that. They tend to be very ignorant on what they up in here debating, and then they want to act like they said something knowledgeable, bro. You just got all the way off track, and then you want to wait for me to respond, and you want to hide behind some type of like ideal or spiritual force that allow you to be unorganized and uncouth, and then you want me to be measured and meted. No, I could get just as ignorant with you and then prove that I'm smarter. So this is where I saw that kind of from that snippet, because I realized a lot of atheists and people do that. They feel like, see, you can't answer this or that. You didn't ask me about Christianity, dog. You asked me a personal question like, what do I believe in God? What do you mean by believe, man? Like, you know, would I do this if this happened? Like, what are you asking me? Like, what are you asking? It's like asking me, you know, crazy hypotheticals. Would I fight a prime Mike Tyson by myself? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, yes, no, I guess I get knocked out. I don't fucking know how to answer this question. Can we stay on the topic? Because I think I feel like you're trying to play with my intelligence, and this is where that conversation seemed like it went, that debate. And you know, when you debating people on spiritual subjects, you got to take some time a spiritual approach, even though they really don't know what the hell they talking about, because you know all these different forces, all these different beliefs are in the room. You got Satanists and satanic people talking about they atheists like the devil is something to play with. You know, you got people asking about Muslim stuff, and you ain't never studied Muslim culture and Muslim societies, like that stuff is something to play with for a convenient argument, because you can hide behind rights and stuff when you debating certain people from certain societies that you know that's not how we move. It's times when you go into, and not to go too much on a tangent, but if you go into certain Christian practices, bro, in certain places that believe in Christianity, they believe, since we're talking about quote unquote belief, they believe that if you don't believe in this, they could take your life. They could get rid of your clan. Do you think God thinks that okay? Or is it not? Like, these are the type of questions that's like, you giving me too much hypothetical. Tell me what you mean so I could address what you're talking about. Because when you debating a person like Jordan Peterson, he's expecting you to debate seriously and stay on point. When you take personal digs at him, he like, no, I'm not a Christian right now. I ain't gonna play with you no more. It's you versus me now. Because you're not even asking or debating Christianity points versus atheist points. You're taking personal shots. And that's what I gathered from the little snippet that I did see on Auburn Priest channel, and from my personal experience debating atheists, you know, they tend to, let's just be honest, they tend to muddy the waters, and they really don't know how to debate a lot of time. They be going based off of emotions, and they come across like real feminine, you know, like real girly, like a real woman principle, that I'm gonna take my emotions and push that to the forefront and attack you personally, because I really did not do my research, and I really don't have the answers that I should already have for this debate. I'm unprepared for this argument, so I gotta attack you personally. That's a very, in my opinion, feminine, you know, type of approach. And you debating a grown man, he's not about to play with you like that in that way. So yeah, that's what I gathered from that.